Hola, ¿cómo estás? All right, we're gonna go with that one. That's better than the other ones. Yeah. So I don't have a specific theme. I'm theming as perspective. Uh, Realistically, I was just going through and practicing art in general. I was getting back to basics. I didn't really know what I had. I didn't really have any specific plan to draw anything big, fantastical. So really just started off sketching, putting things down, seeing what I could come up with. And I slowly devolved and realized, oh my gosh, I don't remember how to draw people super well. And I was like, no, this can't be true. And so I go and I draw a person, and like, I start drawing the lips and stuff, and I'm like, oh shoot, I can't do it. My brain wouldn't allow me to draw people, or my hand wouldn't allow me to draw people the way I wanted. And I was like, oh, okay, let's try a person and see if that's the problem. So I tried that, and it worked. I drew a person. I was like, it's just draw this, and it worked. It kind of worked. So I decided to go back to basics and draw some very simple muscle anatomy, and then go, no, I need to practice even more basic. So I go back to shape anatomy and practicing just drawing shapes and drawing three-dimensional shapes. Drawing heads with three-dimensional shapes too. And I quite liked doing it, and I definitely am going to practice a lot more in the future. But yeah, that's where I'm starting this video. I experimented quite a bit. I think coming up here, I figured out how to draw a circle with 3 intersecting planes, which that was super fun. And then I drew cubes coming out of the circles. Not super well done, but you know, practice. Yeah, and so I just kept practicing shapes and pyramids and trying to get fancy with some shapes, and it didn't really work, and that's fine. Mostly cubes is what I was wanting to work on. And fun thing about cubes is you can form almost any other three-dimensional shape out of it with just measuring it out and just doing it. Yeah. Then I came here and I was like, oh, let me try drawing a person with shapes. And so I did, and it worked out pretty well. I think I abandoned the sketch though, partway through. You probably even see it when I abandon it. Yep, there it goes, abandoned. So yeah. So right around this point, Slew on YouTube put out that he's doing his art competition, released his prompt and everything, and I decided, oh, this is a good time for me to, this is a good benchmark effort for me to look into, hey, I want to practice and get better. And so now I have an achievable goal. So my plan is to submit to that contest coming up very shortly. I think I only have like 2.5 weeks left before the competition, the due date for the competition. Before that, though, I wanted to practice a little bit more with anatomy and work in some new perspective stuff, because I've never done a finished drawing specifically with anatomy, or not anatomy, but with perspective in mind. And so right here you see me messing with, can't see it, but I'm messing with perspective stuff on Clip Studio Paint, which I still don't understand. And so I gave up and I was like, okay, whatever, I'm just gonna look at some other people's drawings, which they are mentioned here in the writing if you're curious and want to see more of their stuff. Found them on Pinterest, but I just wanted to go over and I wanted to trace the basic structures, the cylinders, the circles, the squares, the rectangulars, and work that out. And then I moved on to reference photos I took of myself that I wanted to get the anatomy off of it. This is something I did when I was very early on drawing, is I would trace the basic shapes off of real reference, and then I would draw my sketch on top of it, and that would work out quite well for me to understand how things were matching together. And obviously you can see here that I'm manipulating the boxes to fit my means a bit better, shrinking the rib cage because I'm obviously not a woman, so I got a longer rib cage. And I wanted to draw a female character here because that's another thing that I don't draw often, is I don't draw female characters very often, just because I don't understand the anatomy super well. I can draw the faces decently, but the anatomy itself, male to female, is pretty drastically different, and I don't draw that enough to really feel comfortable with it. But yeah, with that though, I would also, totally forgetting what all I said already and what I have not, is sometimes I would print it out and take my sketchwork and then I draw my character on top of it, like you're going to see today. Other times I would grid work it, so I'd create a grid over my sketch and then I would transfer that grid onto a larger piece of paper, and create my grid that way, which I might do here for my self-portrait for Slew's competition. I think that is probably what I'm going to do, is break down some reference. I don't know if you guys will see the reference because I don't really care to show my face. If I do, I do. If I don't, whatever. But yeah. It's going to be the grid method, though, I think, is what I'm going to go through with. With this right here, with the lightning, I had a lot of struggle with it until I remembered Clip Studio has a shrink and grow function tool thingy that was amazingly helpful. I say it a lot in these videos, and I'm not appreciating it right now. Anyways, this character, why did I hate the Okay, cool. This character has a striking resemblance to a character named Zenon Maki from the show and manga of the same name, Jujutsu Kaisen. So that's super fun. Yeah. It's always fun when you accidentally draw something that looks like someone else's character. So yeah, now you can see I'm draw directly on top of the sketch that I printed out. And the way I like to think of it is like when you're making a mural and you project onto the wall with your drawing, and then you just draw your drawing onto the wall with your paints. yeah. So with the ink work here I'm doing is I was actually experimenting a bit with ink wash stuff because I'm curious about using ink wash and this technique with drawing the book I'm co-writing, Fractured. Just because I plan to do the sketchwork digitally because I will be compiling it digitally later, but I want, and we've decided that physical drawings are going to look a lot better. So yeah, in practice, and I do really like it. It gives more of a manga feel with the black and white tones and whatnot. Although I think I would want more color, so I want to experiment with some more colored inks and stuff. Maybe watercolor, but I'm not keen on doing watercolor again at the moment for that project. But for this project, it worked out great. I liked it. Yeah. So, quickly want to mention before this drawing finishes up here in a few minutes is that I don't want to claim that this is a display of my skill with perspective and anatomy since I traced it off of reference. However, if I had done grid work to take this, to take the basic shapes out of my reference or out of a photo bash, I believe that's perfectly legitimate to do as an artist. In fact, if you can photo bash and grid your stuff to get the basic shapes and manipulate those shapes to your means, that is by no means a bad thing to do. I mean, there's things like the lucida, which literally you would look at an object and trace it on the paper, and different things like that. However, I don't want to say I did this all by my old cool powers of good practice of art, because I feel really, really bad about my skill in art right now. This looks alright, but I don't feel great in my skill in art right now. But yeah, it's almost done here, and then it's going to be beautiful money beauty shots. So I'm going to shut up here, and you're going to enjoy those. So that's the drawing. I found it pretty fun to do. But yeah. Decided to include this here in the end of the video as my little bit of an off. Great outro. No, this is the thumbnail, and I want to say, Gege, what the heck is going on with your anatomy? I know you got to draw fast sometimes, but what is going on with your anatomy in this stuff? Ridiculous. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. See you later. Bye.